Welcome back to the Theme Park Realm YouTube channel, and welcome to a brand new news video. Now, I know I haven't done a news video for quite some time. Of course, at the moment with everything that's going on, it is being quite slow in terms of news. There isn't really that much happening with theme parks. Of course, the main focus at the moment is just getting the parks all ready and back open, and operating them safely, given the whole situation. But yeah, there's one sort of particular project that's really sticking out to me at the moment, so I wanted to cover that in today's video, and just have a little look at the construction of a brand new coaster that's going to be opening up in Florida for the 2021 season, hopefully, fingers crossed. But first of all, I do want to give a huge shout out to Bio Construct and also Jay in Florida as well for allowing me to use their photos in this video. So please go and check out their respective pages on Twitter. I will link them in the description below. So if you can go and check those guys out, give them a follow. They do have some fantastic photos of this new ride, as I'm sure you'll be able to see on the screen at the moment. But yeah, for the 2021 season, Universal Orlando are working on a brand new coaster, and it looks absolutely crazy. Now, construction for the ride began in 2019. All of the ground clearance began all the way back then. And there's also been a trademark as well, which has been filed for the ride. And it's actually expected to be called the Velocicoaster. And this trademark was filed in July 2019. The way that the trademark's been filed is it has been filed by Universal as a ride trademark. So it's definitely going to be for a ride. It's not 100% confirmed that this ride will be called that, and of course they could, end up changing the name of the ride. We don't know for certain that it will be called the Velocicoaster, but that's certainly what it's going to be. What it's looking. It's all pointing towards it being called that, and it is an epic name for what I'm sure is going to be an epic coaster. If that is the name, as I say, they could change it. It is completely. It's just guessing at the moment, really. It could always change. Don't take that as fact, but Velocicoaster is definitely what it could be called, one of the possible heavily rumoured names for the new ride. Now, the ride is expected to be themed, of course, around the Velociraptors from the Jurassic Park/World movie. It's also rumoured that this new ride is then going to be the continuation of Universal actually re-theming the Jurassic Park area to Jurassic World fully, and people are expecting that once this ride's been built, the remaining attractions in the area will also be rethemed then to Jurassic World going forwards. In fact, if you look at the construction site fences, the logos on there also seem to be themed to the Jurassic World movie logo rather than the classic Jurassic Park logos that we've seen in the older films there. Now, if you look closely at some of these photos as well, what you will see that some of the theming has already started to go into place. Now, over the past few weeks, this track has been going in really quickly. It's gone from there almost being no track there at all to there being almost a fully complete track layout. Now, looking over the construction site, there is already theming going up around the area. Now, if you think about it, near the start of June, this ride had barely even started to be constructed. There was very little track that had actually been built. And now fast forward to the start of July, and almost the whole ride now has been constructed. Nearly all the track is in place. Obviously there is a long way to go yet. They'll have to test it. They'll probably have to do a pull through of the trains. There'll be all the electrical work and the theming as well, of course. So it's a long way off being complete. But in terms of the actual track itself, that is very, very nearly done at the moment. But yeah, if you look closely at some of the theming, it does appear to be dinosaur shaped. Obviously it's difficult to kind of tell exactly where it's going to be at the moment, but it does look dinosaur shaped, so we can expect that the track is going to kind of interact with these massive dinosaur theming elements that are sort of around the ride. And there's particularly one large one in the middle of one of the helixes on the ride as well that you'll see. I'll put some of the photos up on screen at the moment. Now, of course, there's no real official announcements from Universal for this new ride at the moment, as I said earlier. But looking at the other Intamin coasters that are available, of course, we do know that it's definitely an Intamin coaster. You can tell that just by looking at the track. And looking at the other Intamin Blitz coasters that we have, you can expect that this one's likely going to reach a top speed of 70 miles per hour, or of course 112 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be quite a quick ride. It's going to be an intense ride as well, looking at some of those elements that you've got on there. But yeah, as I say, it's definitely an Intamin. It's the same manufacturer who actually manufactured the Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure ride, which of course is what opened up last year. Although that ride was by Intamin, of course, that one's a family coaster this is going to be a full-on thrill coaster that they're going to be creating now. Now, this ride, it actually does look as if it's going to have 2 LSM launches. As I say, it's got Intamin's brand new track design, which is very different to some of the older coasters that Intamin have made, but I'm sure it's going to lead to a much smoother, more enjoyable ride experience. I mean, Intamin coasters, generally, they're very smooth anyway, but this new track is just making it even smoother than what it was before, if that's even possible. In terms of the ride layout, from what we can see on the construction site so far, the track is going to exit the station. It's going to do a left-hand turn and then enter straight into a show building. Now, it's unclear, obviously, what's going to be in the show building, or if even there is going to be a show there, but I'm expecting that the ride is going to stop in the show building. There'll be some kind of theming, or even maybe a screen or something like that with, you know, a storyline on it. We're definitely going to be expecting that in that show building there. But after the show building, it's going to go straight into the first launch, the first LSM launch. Now, the ride actually launches straight into what looks to be like some sort of dive loop. You then go up and straight down into a second dive loop. So already, you know, you've only just come out the launch and you've already gone through 2 inversions right off the bat there. So it is going to be a crazy ride. Then after the second LSM launch, you then head straight into a top hat element. Of course, there's plenty more crazy elements in the second half of the ride as well. Both halves of the ride have got loads of kind of tight turns, overbanking, loads of like really, you know, quick transitions, stuff like that. It does look like a really, really good ride, a really good layout as well. But yeah, the second half of the ride is actually the half that you can see from the lake, and the actual station and show building almost splits the ride. So you've got a bit of the ride, well, the first section of the ride is almost behind the station, and then you've got the second half of the ride, which is in front of it, sort of facing onto the lake there in the middle of the park. Now, it's very likely that the ride will feature 3 trains. That's what we're expecting at the moment. That would mean that, of course, there would be a train on each launch section and also one loading in the station at the same time. Depending on how long the pre-show is, though, you could potentially benefit from a 4th train. There could be 4 trains. It just depends how long, you know, the actual pre-show area holds a train for it. You know, if there's going to be a train held in that pre-show for quite a while, then you would definitely benefit from 4 trains. There's going to either be 3 or 4 trains on there. But, you know, as I say, this ride is going to be just awesome from what we can see so far. It looks absolutely fantastic. Now, another crazy element, in fact, one of my favourite looking elements on this ride has got to be what they're calling an outward banked helix, which is personally something that I've never seen before. It's a very odd looking element, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it's a world's first. I could be wrong. Do correct me if I am in the comments down below. But this outward banked helix looks absolutely crazy. Just insane elements, absolutely insane elements. I mean, I know these Blitz coasters do tend to do some like quite unnatural looking elements anyway, but it just looks crazy. But yeah, as I say, you know, we don't really have any stats or anything like that at the moment, unfortunately. But as we get more news on this ride, we will be sure to keep the channel up to date. And of course, if there is any more construction updates or anything like that, we'll try and get another video up on the channel, perhaps later on in the year once we've got more and we know more detail. But yeah, as always, if you did enjoy today's video, please don't forget to give the video a like. Do go and follow the accounts that I did it, you know, that I shouted out at the start of the video. They've allowed me to use their photos, so again, a big thanks to them. And as I say, follow our social medias as well. And as we get more updates, we'll be sure to retweet them or repost them on Facebook as we get those as well. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.